Good Sunday evening. Thanks for joining for tonight's Sunday Stillness Meditation. The topic tonight, or sort of the focus, is going to be on sitting with what's uncomfortable. We often engage in a lot of different activities to distract or try to even improve when something's uncomfortable. And that certainly isn't a problem per se, but sometimes there's just uncomfortable things we experience. And there can be some detriments, I guess, or some challenges or issues that arise when we don't allow ourselves to be with whatever it is, whether it's a sensation, an emotion, a thought. We may end up doing a lot more to try to avoid or improve whatever it is that we're experiencing versus working to change our relationship with it because it's already here. So with that, I'll invite you to close your eyes or look at something that doesn't stimulate and bring attention to the body, remembering that this body is always in the present. So as we attend to its experiences, we bring our attention to the present. You might identify the points of contact the body has with the space around it or the objects around it. Or you might notice sounds. Noticing when the mind wanders, because it will. We're more commonly engaged in a lot of thinking versus experiencing. So our attention can get quite lost in the chatter of the mind. And that's okay, it's what's expected. It's a matter of bringing attention back in the moments that you identify that the attention has shifted. I want to invite you to, whether it be in your mind's eye, and again, here I'm inviting you now to shift attention to the mind's eye and something that may or may not be present right now, but something that has in the past generated some discomfort, whether that be a memory or a particular thought or a circumstance, or maybe you're experiencing something right now that's uncomfortable when you think about it, whether it be again, a circumstance, a thought, an emotion, maybe it's a physical sensation. Just allowing yourself to bring that experience into your awareness and into the body as much as possible. Noticing that there might be already a very distinct resistance. This is something that, by its nature of being uncomfortable, is something that we might and often do want to shift our attention away from. So notice that potential urge, or almost that reaction. And come back. See if you might bring a curious attention to this uncomfortable sensation, thought, circumstance. Notice any judgments you have that emerge as you are giving this experience some attention. Seeing if you can objectively observe or practice doing so. This is an observation without judgment. I think it's really hard for us to know what's objective and what's subjective or infused with judgment and specific to one person because we're so used to judging. There's certainly a function to doing so, and practicing that step back, noticing facts, that's where we have a non-judgmental approach. So if it's a thought that's been bothering you or that's been uncomfortable, a fact might be, I'm having this thought quite frequently. Or I notice a tension or a tightening of my stomach as I have this thought. Something that might be more subjective or judgmental versus objective would be, this thought is bad. And I think oftentimes when we talk about being non-judgmental, we think that it may mean that we have to say the thought is good. And that's not the case, because good is also a judgment. Any one of our experiences is not inherently good or bad. They are experiences. And the way in which we relate to them can determine how they affect us and what we do moving forward. So taking this time now to just explore with a curious attention, noticing the judgments that might arise and seeing about shifting the perception or the language around that description, a description of the experience. So instead of saying I'm feeling, you might say I'm having the experience of this sensation, or I notice this emotion. Creating a little bit of distance between you as who you are, I, and that experience. So instead of I'm thinking, I'm having the thought that. And if at any point this or my instructions are confusing or not resonating, that's okay. No judgment there either. Just bring your attention back down to the body. Ground potentially in the breath. And notice your experiences. The mind will wander, and that's okay. Bringing it back. Being gentle with yourself, knowing that moving towards what we often do not want to experience is challenging. This is not a perfect process. It is a process. And so after some silence, we'll end this meditation with the ringing of the bells. I much prefer these actual bells to me saying ding, and I bet most of you do too, unless you want some comic relief. But thanks for checking this out. We'll have a Mindful Monday post tomorrow that's also on this topic of being with or shifting relationship with the uncomfortable. All right, wishing you a great start to the week. Take care.